Hi guys, welcome to Hope It Grows. I'm going to do a quick greenhouse tour today. So it's the start of October and things are starting to look a little bit past their best, but actually other things are coming into their own at this time of year. So I'm going to do a quick tour, quick whiz around the greenhouse and see how things are doing. Okay, so starting in the corner over here, we have this is actually a hydroponic propagator. I'm not using it for hydroponics because firstly I don't know how, but also I'm not a massive fan. I prefer to just go over the good old compost. I'm going to do a video on this maybe in a few weeks when things are starting to get going in there, so I'll skip past that today. But actually the fuchsias, these are really looking good at the minute. I think it's just because the watering, because it's not as hot in the days, it's a lot easier to keep them well watered, and I think they need sort of consistent moisture, so looking really nice. And I'm going to be keeping these fuchsias in the greenhouse next year as well, to give the bees and pollinators something. Coming around here we have lots of pots of figs. So these are all 2-litre pots, and all of these were cuttings that I rooted in maybe January, February time. So I wasn't really expecting any fruit, but this one has put out a fruit, and it has been stubbornly refusing to ripen. It's been there for like 2 or 3 months. Unless we get like a good couple of weeks of like warm weather again, or at least sunny weather, so that the greenhouse warms up, I don't think I'll be getting ripe fruit off of this. Next year is going to be the year, I think, for the figs, so I'm quite excited. I'm going to be uppotting all of these into 7.5 litre pots, which is about 2 gallons, not quite actually, no. Looking forward to hopefully getting some ripe figs off of these. You can see the extent of the snail problem here, because this cactus has actually been eaten by snails despite being extremely prickly. They actually munched off the top. It was like this tall before, it's up to here. They've actually munched off the top of the cactus, so you got to give it to them. They they might not look like much, but the snails, they know their way around. Then I've got calamondin, which actually again is looking pretty holy because of the snails. I can't remember if I said before, but it's not so much like the big snails. They're not so much the problem, because I can come in each morning and like get them out. But it's just that there's just so many of snails that are like this size. If that wants to focus. Tiny little ones like that. And there's just hundreds and thousands of them everywhere. And they're just impossible to like remove. But that's why in here I'm going to have to go with things that are just naturally resistant to slugs and snails. Just things they don't like. Luckily they don't like figs much, so that's a good thing. This fig up here, this is quite cool actually, because this is like, it's in a pot down here, 2-litre pot. It's standing on this bigger tub, which is 35 litres I think. But that 2-litre pot had one cutting in. Don't know if I can show you the sort of thick stem there. The thickest part of it anyway, that was one cutting. And it's obviously rooted into this 35 litre pot, and it's gone absolutely crazy. It's grown all the way up to the top of the greenhouse. So it's got to be like 4 foot, maybe even more than that. 4 foot, 4.5 foot of 1 year, growth in 1 year, which is pretty impressive. So hopefully get some figs next year. But yeah, This is an apricot, which seems to be fairly resistant to the snails and slugs, so I'm going to be keeping that in here, moving it right to the back so it can grow a little bit taller, and hopefully get some apricots. I'm going to quickly do a spin around because just to see everything else. So we've got a pineapple guava here growing away happily. No fruit, but I'm not really expecting fruit. I just really like, it's like quite an ornamental plant. I quite like it. It's just the leaves are so soft, and yeah, I love the sort of slight silvery look. Yeah, not sure if this will be staying, because as nice as it is, I kind of want to grow things in the greenhouse that I know that I'll get fruit off of. And this is probably a seedling variety, well, not a variety, not a named variety, probably a seedling. So there's less chance of getting decent fruit off of it. So I'd rather grow something that I can be a little bit more certain of getting some edible fruit. But yeah, then we got the back there, that's a green gauge which is going to the allotment, and it produced about 10 little green gauges this year, which is quite nice. But hopefully get some nice heavy yields off of this when it's in the ground of the allotment. Crimson Bonfire Peach, which is looking peachy. It's looking quite lovely, but there's a couple more peaches on it, tiny little peaches. You might be able to see right through there. Oh no, too many leaves in the way. I can't get the angle, but yeah, they're still slightly firm, but they should be ripe soon, although they weren't very tasty, the ones I've had off of this plant. And then we've got the orange, which is still going. It's probably about the size of a golf ball, or almost the size of a golf ball now. And the plant's looking really healthy. It's actually got like some just new growth, and it's, we're in October. Looking good though. And we got various other figs. That's Rondé de Bordeaux, which I had a few figs off of. This is Col de Dame Noir fig, and it's put on like a foot of growth in maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. No, maybe a bit longer than that, but it hasn't been in the greenhouse for very long. But since then it's just exploded into growth. You can see how big the leaves are. They're huge. But we've got a few other citrus, grapefruit there, none of which are fruiting at the minute, but I'm hoping next year. This is the Myers lemon, which I downpotted in order to try and save it. So we'll see. I think it will really be next year. We'll see if it picks up or not. I don't think it's going to do much over the winter, but I'm going to keep it fairly dry because I think it doesn't like too much moisture. But yeah, then we got a peregrine peach, which I'm hoping will produce fruit. I don't know 100% if I'm going to keep it, because it did have this sort of diseased wood, which I'm not sure if it's bacterial canker or something like that, and I don't really want it to spread, so I'm not too sure about that yet. But yeah, then a grapevine, which I'm going to trellis sort of up the side of the greenhouse next year. And yeah, just a few other various bits and pieces lying around. So yeah, I think I'll probably leave it there, because otherwise I'll waffle on for too long. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, feel free to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see any more videos like this, then yeah, you can subscribe, and I really appreciate it. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.